All right, look, we have established that we are in a bear market ever since we broke structure at $74,000. The question on everybody's mind right now is when Bitcoin bottom, or when will this market bottom? As a matter of fact, if you check my DMs, if you check my comment section down below, if you check online, when bottom? That's basically the question everyone's asking. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you when I think the Bitcoin bottom is going to be, where the Bitcoin bottom price level will be at, and what we will expect into 2026, 2027. So make sure you pay attention. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but let's get straight to it. All right, so when we broke down, we actually came down to the 60K level over here and bounced, which we were expecting. We actually bought 62K, and we did that because look at this higher low over here, here, then again here, and here. But right now we are testing that higher low. We're just touching it, almost touching it right now as we speak. And the question is now, what happens to Bitcoin? Are we gonna break down? Probability-wise, we are, or are we gonna come up first and have a bear market rally, which may look like something like this, either to the 80K level, or if we're lucky, maybe even higher to the mid-range, and possibly, this is probably not probable at this point, but possibly even come up here and form that larger heads and shoulders we were expecting. But the probabilities are we're gonna break down. So if we break down here, and we actually break under 60K, where is Bitcoin gonna reach? Where should we be buying, DCAing, and so on? And look, I DCA'd, I bought my first 1/3 of my profits, which I took at 62K, and I said if it breaks under that, I'll buy again in the low 50s, and then let me show you what happens from there, okay? This is very important, so pay attention, because I'm trying to give you levels to get in, right? I'm trying to give you levels to get in, not so much DCA, but DSA, but also expectational prices for the bottom of the market, okay? So let's have a look at that. So if we break under 60K, and look, this is key because look, we can stay in this range for a while, right? We can stay in this range if we go from the prior range over here and here. See, this range over here can easily happen over here. The question is if we break under how low we can go, because bear markets are not so much about price dips as much as, or how low the price will go. It's more how long will it stay at this level. And I'm not saying it can't go lower. Obviously the probabilities are it's gonna break and it's gonna go lower. What I'm saying is we're taking a wait and see approach. So we perfectly bought this range bottom, and if that breaks, we're gonna look for the second range to actually buy, if that makes sense. So we're safe, we're in profits, or we have a good buy already. We're just trying to make this better, okay? I'm gonna tell you why I'm not expecting the levels most people are seeing, and I actually think we're close to a bottom in just 1 second, okay? So bear with me. So let's get rid of these drawings real quick. Let's extend the previous range over here so we can have a clear picture. But you see how this range over here aligns to this one over here, or possibilities. So I could even say a higher range from over here, but let's not get too technical here. So let's say we come down, we break this bottom of the range. One level to look at is the mid-50s. But the truth is, we'll probably come up, reject, and then break here. So if that's the case, what levels are we looking at? Well, it's very simple. One thing you can do is take this bottom of this candle here, which corresponds to this top over here and this top over here. So look, if I extend this over here, and let me make that a different color so you can see what I mean. This was the cup and handle we called over here. Look, we called this cup and handle. This is the cup and handle we called over here. We called this cup handle breakout, and we said that we're in for the run. We came up, made this range, which is a massive bull flag, and then we came up, broke, and we got in again for this ride, all right? So this here is strong support, and this is at 48,700-ish. So let's make that 50K psychological. So 48 to 50,000 right here corresponds to this candle over here plus the breakout over here from this cup and handle. That is one place to look at buying is the 50K level. So if this breaks 60K psychological, the mid 50s and low 50s is somewhere where you can actually DCA. Now, if that breaks and we make that resistance, and this is important, we actually make that resistance, then I'm looking right here. See this candle over here, which is 37,800. Let's call that 38,000. And of course, we go to the closest psychological number, which is 40,000, to grab that range. Does that make sense? And you can see how beautifully this actually corresponds to this candle wick and candle over here. Plus you can extend it over here and you can actually see a bigger picture. If you expand it all back, see how it supports and respects these places or these points of interest over here. So this is what I'm looking at. So basically I'm looking at a $40,000 to $50,000 range to actually be the bottom. So you're looking at 40 to 50,000, that's where you want to start buying, right? And it can go down to 38 to 40,000. But of course, when that time happens, when the time comes, you have to look at the charts and see the support, see volume, see momentum, and so on. If that's the case, please go ahead, subscribe down below and hit the bell notification button because I will be making videos. Because look, these are ranges we're looking at. This is what we're gonna play off. But of course, we always reevaluate. So for me, I believe the bottom is not gonna be 20 or 30K like a lot of people are calling. I think that's crazy. I think $40,000 to $50,000, that range will be the bottom. If I have to guess, 38,200 on a dip, or we're gonna be in that 40 to 50,000K range. So we're close to the bottom. A lot of people are talking about triple death crosses and this. That usually means we're close to a bottom anyway. And I actually have a theory here that I know a lot of people are waiting for an 85% drop when it comes to Bitcoin from its all-time highs. Right now we're at about a 50% drop at all-time highs. But listen to me. The charts could be lying to you. What do I mean by the charts are lying to you? Let me explain this because this is important. See, in previous cycles, the dollar was actually stronger. The dollar right now relatively is actually weaker. So this 50% drop that we already had, it might be more like 60, 65%, meaning we're actually getting close to a bottom. I know that sounds crazy. I actually explain it all in a video. I'll leave it linked in the description down below. But I'll explain it all in that video and at the end of this video, right after I show you what's going on with altcoins, because this is also important, okay? So bear with me here. So I believe we're getting close to a bottom. Yes, we can go lower. Yes, 2026 is a bear market. As long as we stay under $74,000, it's a bear market. Of course, this structure will lower if we go down to the 50s or 40K level. So the bear market will actually end as soon as we break up over another price. But let me not confuse this too much, okay? But that's what I'm looking at. Let's have a look at altcoins real quick. Red on the daily over here, except Aster and CC. Of course, if we go to the weekly, we'll see Tau. We actually got into Tau in our group as one of our plays. We converted into it, not bought extra, just to make sure you understand this. Bitcoin at 67,000 right now, still holding up a bit better than expected with what's going on right now, but it is holding up, and altcoins are waiting for permission from Bitcoin. Now, if we do have alts actually pumping, the ones I believe are gonna do well, other than the ones that you're seeing on the screen over here, are basically three narratives. Three narratives I'm seeing right now. One is the AI narrative. Yes, AI, it will do well again because AI or AI agents need crypto to make payments, and you're gonna plug in a PayPal API. They need crypto. And I was talking about this last cycle, that AI will be the main narrative of this cycle, and that in the next cycle, I was saying it's gonna be AI again, just because, and that was not too long ago, just because that AI need crypto. It needs crypto. I was talking about this so many times, and people, now they're starting to talk about it. But I was talking about it years ago, right? So we're looking at AI as one of those narratives. The second narrative is perpetual dexes, things like Hype, things like Aster. They're holding up pretty well. Perfect use case for people that want to get in and can't because of regulations, this, that, with so on, in a decentralized manner. Plus a lot of centralized exchanges losing trust. People are moving to perpetual dexes. Things like Aster, things like Hype, they can do extremely well. I made videos about that as well. The other narrative I am looking at is X402. X402 coins. If you want to know what those are, I'll leave a link in the description down below for that as well. What X402, that's going to be a main narrative in my opinion. And I'm seeing the bottom coming in this year, possibly this summer, and then let's see what happens if we're going to get a final scare after that or not. As for the news, again, there's news for the masses, news for the classes. We only get the news for the masses. Stop listening to news. Just look at charts and show me the charts. I'll tell you the news is what we go by. Now, if you want to know why I believe the charts are lying to you and Bitcoin may be closer to a bottom than what you think, and I'm not calling the bottom now, again, please pay attention to what I said. Make sure you watch this video up here next. Very important video. If you want to know what X402 tokens are, make sure you watch this video down here. Both important videos, check them out, and I will see you in the next video.